Yes, and Jelani Asar here with Income Protection Atlanta. First things first, go to incomeprotectionatlanta.com. Right now, just open up a new tab or a new browser in Firefox or whatever your browser may be. Go to incomeprotectionatlanta.com and join our email list so you can receive your free report entitled Protect My Income in Atlanta, only for you if you desire more financial security in this volatile and chaotic economy. And now let's get to our interview with another mesmerizing Atlanta business owner.
And then when I'm thinking about my family, I'm thinking about, like you're saying, you've got a very wide variety of customers, people who come in to get their climb on. Now, when I'm thinking about my family, and I'm thinking of proposing, hey, let's go to Atlanta Rocks, maybe for one trip, or even more so, how about using Atlanta Rocks as the main place to get your workout? Who is it best suited for? I mean, if let's say we have a lady who's, coming up, let's say she's a boomer, she's a baby boomer, right? And she's thinking to herself, well, I've seen Atlanta Rocks, although, I'm not one of these really fit women, I'm aging, I'm not a man, things of this nature. I like to work out and I do my jog or my run, but is that really for me?
Well, and you know what a lot of people have turned it into is a bucket list.
Oh, really?
You've heard that term because
right.
These are things that you want to do before you pass on. So
right.
For some reason, not for some reason, for a lot of people, rock climbing is just one of those things that they've heard about and seen and they want to do.
Right.
So we've got that type of customer, but then we've got the ones that have gone from thinking that they were just going to do it the one time and then really gotten hooked because they didn't think that it was going to be for them.
I see.
So when they, just like we were talking about how women and children climb more naturally, the general public doesn't realize that. So
right, not at all.
When you find that out, then you're under this misconception that, just like you said, it's, I'm not a guy, I don't have big biceps, I've seen these, pictures of these big burly people climbing, but, that's why women and children make great climbers because they're not big and burly.
Right, that's interesting. So it's counterintuitive.
It's easy because of the different routes and the levels that we can set.
Mm-hmm.
So the routes that we set are for every type of climber, whether you're, at the very beginning of the food chain, right there at 5 and over, you've got to have something for for everybody to climb. So otherwise, they're not going to come back.
Right.
So there is that success that you want to create, but then that's why the different levels will give them something to work on. So there is that failure and knowing that, wow, okay, it's not that easy, but yet it's something that I can work on.
Right.
So that's how it really, a lot of people will just find out that, wow, it's not what I've really heard all my life.
Not what you imagined.
Yeah, and it's a great alternative sport for kids, especially nowadays. We've got a climbing team. So if you vision like your typical football, basketball, soccer, etc., these are teams that rely on players, but yet not everyone is playing at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So in climbing, it's an individual sport, so you can always be on the wall.
Right.
yet as a team, we give them an environment to work together that are coached and the bonding. So that way, as kids, they get that team atmosphere or team feeling. And it's awesome because our team can range for ages 8 to 16 and 18. So it gives them all those years to climb together, and it's a very family-friendly environment.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, look, a few more questions for you, David.
Sure.
First one is, the company's been around for 18 years now.
Yes, sir.
Now, we've seen some changes in the economy, right?
Yes, sir.
So, considering what we've seen as far as the changes in the economy, people are clutching their wallets tighter. What have you seen as far as changes in your volume of customers, maybe changes you have to make with how you market your business? And then what are you seeing as the common trends for Atlanta Rocks?
Well, it's a good question. 3 years ago, almost 4 years ago, at the beginning of the recession, it really started to tug at everybody. But we did find out that the gyms and the outdoor world and the possibilities, just like going outside and going backpacking and camping, these type of sports survived because people still needed something to do.
Right.
So the discretionary income was tighter, yet we found that the memberships and things like that gave them their quality of life. They wanted to maintain their rituals.
I see.
So they would cut back on other things, but yet keep their exercise more available.
I see.
So as far as changes, social media and the advent of, everybody knows Groupon. So, of course, we've done deal sites. We've offered, coupons and different discounts. And we really, like in that question about as a business, we talked about reinventing yourselves. Well, even after 12 years of being in business at one location, but yet the combined total years of 17, almost 18 years, for a long time we were kind of set in our ways, but yet, wow, here we are. Now we need to come up with something else.
Right.
So we came up with a family night. We came up with after-school programs. We came up with
after-school programs. That's good.
Yeah, we've got a great after-school program for kids Monday through Friday. We've got a family night for families that want to try to climb together, so it makes it affordable for them. So that's what we did. We didn't reinvent the wheel, but we improved on the programs that we had.
Right.
So whether it was titling them a little bit different or you just keep on creating more options for your customers, and that way they keep coming back, and yet, they've got every Monday is ladies' night, and it's, 25% off as opposed to the other days. So, you just kind of do what you got to do.
Right. Make some tweaks and shift how you're marketing.
Exactly. Yeah, the marketing was definitely more enhanced in the past 2 or 3 years than we've ever seen. One thing that we also really started to do was advertising-wise. For a long time, we were always in certain trade publications, like in the climbing magazines.
Right.
We've also been in Simply Buckhead.
Yeah, that's where I saw you.
Right. Well, beside the magazines, even coming back to Simply Buckhead, everything else that we do nowadays is by barter system.
Interesting.
So we work with companies or advertisement and businesses because we can do dollar for dollar for services. So as long as it's an Atlanta-based company and they can utilize our services, then that's how we pay for our advertising.
No way.
Yeah, simply Buckhead. We worked out our advertising for that, for that year, for the advertisements, for bartering. The owner of the magazine, her kids, we traded out summer camp. So, so it worked out pretty well.
Yeah. Wow. That's innovative.
Well, yeah, and what we're doing is we're trying to go back to the way things really worked. So as a business, we're saving money, and we're getting return business.
Right. Good point. Yeah, that's an excellent point. And they're able to bring they're able to bring their friends, their family.
Exactly. And every party, every lock-in, every team build, every little event that we have, I guarantee you that one person out of that is going to, if not more, is going to explain to a friend, and then they're going to hear good things, and then they're going to call. I've had party after party call and say, my kid came to a birthday party, had such a great time. We want to have ours there now this time, too. So, that happens almost daily. We're booking parties that people, their kids came to, but they haven't even stepped foot in the door yet.
That's amazing.
Yep.
Huh. Well, 2 final questions for you, David. So, when you think of the mission of Atlanta Rocks, what the mission was when it started, what the mission is now, and you think of that mission and you take that vision, if you were to take that vision and turn it into a reality, what's that image of Atlanta Rocks for the ideal Atlanta Rocks once its mission has been, if you could imagine this, just totally completed, although this is not possible?
Yeah, I read a great quote today. A goal, and I can't remember it all, but a goal should not be the end.
Right.
The goal you should attain, but you should keep on striving. Something like that. That was the gist of it. But as far as our mission and where we are today, I couldn't ask for any better other than more customers.
Right.
You always want more.
Right.
But at the same time, I feel like we have given Atlanta a place, just like you said at the very beginning of the interview. People have heard our name.
Yeah.
They've, there's even some other climbing gyms, and they assume that they are Atlanta Rocks because that's what they've heard of.
Yeah. And what's funny is, very quickly, I don't think I know of any other climbing gyms at all.
Exactly. Because you've heard Atlanta Rocks and you've seen Atlanta Rocks.
Right.
So, I think we've given Atlanta and the climbers and the just the people of Atlanta just a great place to enjoy, whether it's for sport or for first-time experiences, for education. But to go back to your question as far as a realization, I think I'm answering the question right, is, we continue to see it every day.
Yeah.
Every day when a new customer comes in, whether a first-timer or a visitor from out of state because they're a climber and they happen to be in Atlanta for a conference or something.
Yeah.
So, we've got visitors from around the world that know about us just because they travel in and out of Atlanta. So, kind of deviating there, but hopefully that answered the question.
I mean, would you say that, or if you could have...
And wonderful. And join us for our next part of another fantastic interview with our great guest, with another amazing Atlanta business owner. In the next video.